Meanwhile, tonight, a possible breakthrough in the war between Russia and Ukraine may be slipping away. President Trump says a long-awaited meeting between Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin may not happen after approving an $825 million arms sale to Ukraine. It commits thousands of extended-range missiles, navigation systems, and training to the conflict. And meanwhile, violence across the region only grows. Putin launching a massive overnight barrage of more than 500 drones across Ukraine. Zelensky targeting Russian oil refineries in response. And in Lviv, a shocking development: a former parliamentary speaker of Ukraine assassinated in broad daylight. Andrei Parubi was a key figure in calling for Ukraine to join the EU and the country's war strategy against Russia. And now, with new sanctions on the line against Moscow, peace feels as far away as ever. Joining us now, former NATO Supreme Allied Commander in Europe, General Wesley Clark. General, I appreciate you being here. There's a lot to get to. Let's start with that assassination of that Ukrainian figure in broad daylight. Who is likely behind this, and is this shocking to you?
Well, I'm sure it's Russian Spetsnaz. They're working to take out leaders in Ukraine who, when the government moves forward with eventual elections, might stand in place and might be strong anti-Russian leaders.
Is Zelensky in danger, as he has been for many years now?
I think Zelensky's got a lot of protection around him. They're very, very careful with him, but yes, he is in danger. There's no doubt about it.
I want to get your thoughts first as well on President Trump saying a meeting between Putin and Zelensky may not happen. Does Trump need to be at the table for things to move forward? Does it need to be a trilateral meeting now?
The president likes to be present. He likes to put his imprimatur on things. He thinks he can see it better, bring people together. That's his expertise. Most presidents feel the same way about it, but usually something as complicated as this conflict, you have to work it at the staff level a lot before you can sort of bring the principles together. Honestly, Natasha, none of us have really understood the purpose of a Zelensky-Putin meeting. At this stage, Zelensky would go in and say, "Stop killing my people." Putin would say, "You're a worm, and I want all of Ukraine." And there'd be a blow-up, and that's what you'd have.
What is the recommended path forward? What do you see as the path to peace here?
Tighten sanctions, keep the arms flowing to Ukraine, convince Putin he cannot win. Once he realizes he's better off stopping, maybe pulling back, getting an agreement, and looking to re-enter the world community, as opposed to putting all of his effort into conquering Ukraine, we will get some headway in making peace in Ukraine. But as long as Putin believes he's winning, which he believes right now, he's going to continue to do what he does. He's going to demoralize the population with these strikes, stall with diplomatic work, and continue to push his military forward.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.